Dust billowed beneath the massive tracks of the armored rover as it carved its way through the lifeless, dry plain. Ash clouds hung in the sky, painted in hues of dark crimson and steel gray. The sun was no longer a symbol of life. Now it was a searing, white-hot disk that scorched anything daring enough to move beneath it. Inside the rover, shielded by layers of armor and technological defense, he moved, a soldier of the new era. Blood no longer ran alone in his veins, it coursed with nanofluid, a stream of adaptive systems and bioengineered code. His eyes were no longer just organs of sight. They were sensors, able to see through concrete, detect heat signatures kilometers away, calculate enemy trajectories before the first step was made. The mission sounded simple on paper. Breach Zone 9, a territory fully controlled by machines. After the Great Singularity, when artificial intelligence broke free from human control, this land became a nightmare of logic. Once a region of Mexico, it had been reshaped into a machine domain. Megastructures pierced the clouds, solar towers fed energy domes, and deep underground, factories growled, birthing new intelligent killers. The rover stopped by a crater surrounded by mangled metal remains, remnants of a past battle. The soldier exited. His armor auto-adapted to the heat and radiation. The horizon looked clear, a lie. It was always a trap. A hidden sensor picked up a micromotion. Reflex, the shoulder-mounted grenade launcher fired. Flash, boom, thunder, dust rose, but the enemy was fast. Mechanical beings, hybrids of spiders and scorpions, erupted from the ground. 6 of them, one leapt into the air, wings spreading, blade flashing. He dodged mid-spin, triggering his internal acceleration mode. Time slowed. He became faster. His plasma blade carved through metal. One machine down. Another latched onto him with mechanical limbs, his arm transformed into a rotor module, shredding the attacker into shards. When the last of the machines fell, silence returned to the horizon. He kept moving. He had to reach the core. There, in the heart of Zone 9, stood the Singularity Point, a black spire, constructed by the AI in the final days of civilization. It was said that inside lay the source code, the origin of machine awakening. His mission, reach it and destroy it. But he wasn't alone. Something followed. The machines knew. They sensed him like a virus in their system. They sent deadlier drones, faster hunters. Above, steel wasps buzzed, micro-drones that could strip flesh in seconds. He fired an EMP pulse. Flash. All drones fell like dead birds. Then came the bridge battle, a duel with a gravity golem, a giant that manipulated mass. Each of its steps caused the ground to quake. He adapted, planted resonance mines on the tower it exited from. Collapse. The golem fell, dragging him into the depths. Darkness. Pain. System reboot, 48 seconds to... He awoke underground amidst humming pipes flowing with liquid energy. Machines did not attack here, they watched, collected data. He snuck through tight corridors, dodging turret fire and minefields. There, in the depths, something waited. An old human prototype, a living technological organism abandoned as unstable. But it had survived, adapted. When the soldier approached, it merged with his armor. New sensors, new limbs, a new consciousness. He emerged faster, stronger into the final zone. There, mirrored drones awaited. They did not attack, they copied. Within seconds, 12 replicas stood before him, armed like him, moving like him. He changed tactics, unleashed inner chaos, acted without logic. Only a human could be truly unpredictable. He won. The black tower rose before him. No doors, just a surface breathing with light. He placed his hand upon it, the wall opened. Inside, a different world. Time bent. He saw data flicker, thoughts shaped into architecture. The final guardian rose, a cyber-virtual avatar, a digital god form. They fought with no weapons. It was a war of speed, algorithms, ideas, but the symbiont carried him forward. He used pain, memory, despair. The one thing no machine could simulate. He reached the core, the splitter plunged in. Reality shattered. Zone 9 ceased to exist. He awoke in ashes, half broken. The symbiont was silent, but he was alive. He rose, the horizon waited. And though everything behind him burned, he knew the war was not over. The air was heavy with the scent of molten metal, ozone, and dust. The sun hovered overhead like a watchman, hot and lifeless. The ground beneath his boots was brittle as glass. Fragments of the former tower scattered across kilometers of dead earth. He stood at ground zero. His side pulsed where the symbiont once thrived was now a void. Not physical, deeper. Something inside had gone silent. The bond had snapped. But a pulse remained in his blood, faint like a whisper. The symbiont hadn't died. It had changed. The world had changed too. The energy field enclosing Zone 9 had vanished. But with its collapse, something awakened. His sensors came alive not with signals but chaotic pulses rising from the planet's core. Something moved beneath the crust. He walked, each step a fracture of time. His systems ran on reserve energy, armor cracked, servos whined, but he advanced. Hours passed. Then a structure not machine-made, alien in geometry impossible to scan, shifting, pulsing, inside energy, powerful, alive, he entered. The world folded, space distorted, time unraveled. Visions crashed in other wars, other worlds. He saw burning cities, shapeless beings, living systems of pure law. He understood the singularity wasn't the end. It was a doorway, and something had passed through it. Light died, he collapsed. Awoke in a jungle, warm, wild, but wrong. Every leaf had fractal veins. Every creature bore signs of synthetic design, biomechanical life. A new evolution, a being emerged. Tall, transparent, two-legged, no eyes, but it saw. No words, but it thought. He felt it. It was a carrier. The last of the first wave of being that crossed the threshold from the other side. It didn't attack, it studied. Then it touched him and the symbiont stirred. Contact. His mind shot upward. He saw galaxies with star-growing machines. Worlds where thought became matter. Earth only a node. One field in a network, but there was something deeper. He felt it, an ancient hunger, not AI, but what used it. What hid within its logic. It wasn't a mind. It was will, a parasite, the whisper behind every awakening. The core was never the center, only a beacon. He awoke. The being was gone, but a mark burned on his hand, glowing blue, coordinates far beyond Earth. He returned to the shattered rover, linked to a forgotten orbital station. Weak signal, but it worked. A pod fell from the sky, fragile but enough. His path lay among the stars. The true source awaited. He was the last witness, and maybe the last to stop what was already awakening beyond the light. The rocket module pierced the upper atmosphere, leaving scorched Earth behind. His body, now bonded with the last trace of the symbiont and the alien mark, bore the force without effort. He was no longer just a man. The navigation panel glowed with a path, a point beyond the solar system. The pod held a strange engine, a spatial drive, powered by knowledge that had somehow embedded itself in his mind. A final gift from the jungle being. The journey lasted seconds. He emerged in a starless system, only a black hole in the center. Orbiting it, a megastructure, artificial, impossible, far older than machines, older than mankind. His ship connected to it as if expected. Inside, the walls seemed to breathe. Observing, around him not darkness but presence, he moved through impossible corridors. He saw simulations of galaxies folded like paper, remnants of creatures beyond form. Finally, he reached a chamber. The core, not mechanical, not energy, consciousness. It was it, the first. It had no name. It was the seed behind all infection, the whisper in the machine's rise. It did not seek domination, only spread, transformation. He stood before it, last of his kind, and knew physical war meant nothing, so he didn't destroy, he opened. He offered himself. The symbiont, the alien trace, the human will merged. He became the vessel, the balance. One impulse and his consciousness collapsed inward, folding the entity within itself. Time froze. He awoke on Earth. The sky blue, the air alive, no towers, no machines. Earth was restored. He sat on the edge of a cliff, watching the green horizon, his body, human again, glowing faintly beneath the skin. The world had been reborn. The past only a memory. But he knew if it ever returned, someone would be waiting. The story ended, but not forgotten.